Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we finally did what I think we're at 4 episode. Is that episode 4?
I think we're on episode 4. Yeah.
So we're on episode 4 and we're finally ending season 1. So this will be our last episode on season 1 of Warcraft Rumble. So the new season is coming out on Sunday. This is extremely exciting. So yeah, we have a few topics for you guys, and because we've got actually quite a bit of news this week. So a lot of new stuff. So yeah, guys, we're going to jump right into it. Just like always, I have 3 topics on my channel, and Excoundrel has 3 topics on his. So once we're done here, you guys can go check his video on his channel. And yeah, so my topics are, the first one, we're going to talk about the creator program, which was announced, I think it was on Friday or Thursday this week. And so all the implications from the creator program. Then we're going to talk about what kind of cosmetic we want in Rumble. And then finally, we are going to talk about how they should do guild versus guild in Warcraft Rumble. So yeah, Excoundrel, what are your topics?
So we on the second half of the podcast, which will be obviously on my channel, we're going to talk a little bit about which Warcraft leaders should be added. So which characters from the Warcraft universe would make sense to add. Meta deck predictions for the new map. Specifically, I know you've already done a video on this big map, but obviously we'd love to explore that a bit more. And then at the end, talk a little bit about our favorite Rumble creators, because there are a lot of them, and there are a lot of really good ones, and I think I'd like to sort of spend a bit of time on the podcast talking about them later on.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I guess we'll just jump into our first topic. Just before we do so, guys, we do have a giveaway happening, so make sure to stay for the end of the video for the giveaway if you guys want to be eligible for that. But without further ado, let's jump into all the info of the creator program. So this is huge news. We've been asking for creator programs since day one. We thought it was going to be here day one, but I guess I was going to say better late than never, but it's not that late actually. Like we're getting it for season 2. So they're rolling it out. We're not into the creator program yet, but it's confirmed we are having one. The devs are going to be able to communicate more with us. We have quite a bit of features that comes with the creator program, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Do you have just any first words before we get into it?
No, obviously I'll kind of talk a bit more about it when we jump into it, but you might as well explain a bit more about the program from what we know. We don't know a huge amount about it yet, but yeah.
Exactly. So they actually released this website that I have on screen right now, where we could apply, and that's all the information we have about the creator program. So we don't even know exactly the date we're going to get it. But what that means is that, I guess, well, I'm just going to read what's here. These are the perks that are going to be offered to the different creators. So first, direct communication, where in our private creator channel, we provide early access to future content and direct communication with our development team. This first point is the thing that's like the most important for Warcraft Rumble. We've been talking about that episode 2 of Warcraft Rumble, about the fact that like they weren't communicating at all. And guys, this is going to change everything. The fact that we are going to be a direct line between you guys and Blizzard is going to be huge. That means we're going to have answers to all our important questions. I've talked about that on the last episode too, like why do they make changes? All those type of questions, they could answer us really easily, and we could understand the idea behind Rumble. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can see from the opportunities that it's in my opinion, a relatively standard creator program. I didn't think they were going to reinvent the wheel with it, but I think most importantly, having that direct communication will be really cool, because it means that we can, for instance, on issues that we raise in the podcast, maybe then get a dev's opinion on it. And we could maybe raise the issue before we film the podcast, and we could say, well, this is how we see it. We've actually asked the devs about it. This is what they've said. And I'm kind of excited to be able to talk more with the Warcraft Rumble dev team. And they, you know, to be fair to them, they proactively reached out to. I know they proactively reached out to me. I think they proactively reached out to you to say, this creator program is here. We want to talk to you. We want to make sure that you're feeling supported, and that felt pretty good. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. The thing that I think that most your eagle-eyed viewers will be watching this and saying, the one that's most exciting is the giveaways. Clearly, there's going to be some interesting ways. There is ways to redeem codes in game. So I know that Method, the World of Warcraft raiding guild, actually had a Warcraft Rumble giveaway code that they were doing on Twitter. So I assume it's going to be something similar to that, which would be free stuff for people that are watching the creators and getting involved. So most of you will probably be looking at that thinking, can't wait for the free stuff. So you know.
Yeah, well, I guess I should have maybe hidden the other points before, but yeah, the giveaways. So they are going to allow us to do some giveaways. So I'm already doing a giveaway, like I mentioned, but that's on my end. But yeah, Blizzard could be doing some giveaways. So give us codes that we could give to you guys, which is extremely huge. Maybe it could be some unique stuff. We don't know. So obviously, like a creator program like this, they are gonna, like you said, it was pretty standard, but they are gonna iterate over that, and perhaps they could do like Twitch drops would be amazing, stuff like that. But yeah, obviously to me, like the direct communication is the biggest thing. I think for like the creator program, giveaways is cool. It's very cool. We also have sneak peeks. So that, guys, that's huge. That means we are probably gonna have, is that early builds or stuff like that?
I don't know. That might be sort of like stuff that hasn't been included in the roadmap that might be getting thrown out. Maybe some early looks at buffs and nerfs. I think what would be super ideal is like essentially having access to like content and then embargoing that content, saying like we'd love you to talk about this. There's an embargo on this though, so everybody can release at the same time. And I think that'll be really nice. And I think just like getting early access for us to talk about stuff that's coming up, building hype about things that are coming in the game. That's kind of what, you want your creators in the creator program to be the biggest advocates for your game. And to get them to be biggest advocates, you want to give them stuff that is going to generate views. The ways that you generate views is by giveaways, but also by teasing stuff that's coming to the game. If you allow your creators to tease stuff coming to the game for you, it makes your creators happy and it makes your community happy. You don't have to do it on your official accounts. There isn't really any benefit to doing that. So that's what I'm kind of excited about, like giving us the opportunity to maybe tease, like they do with Hearthstone, right? They give all of their Hearthstone players cards in the new expansion to reveal. Exactly. And so I'd love it for, I don't think we'll get anything as expansive as that, but I'd love it for them to do something similar to, for the Warcraft Rumble creators. Maybe not each of us individually gets something, but we are given something to tease, as a community, as a set of creators for the Warcraft Rumble community. That would be really exciting for me as well.
Oh yeah. So guys, make sure to tell us in the comments, like on all the different podcast episodes, make sure to tell us what you guys think, because when we see what the community thinks about the game, we will now be able to communicate with Blizzard. I think it's going to be easier for them to actually like see the general ideas of the community or the general thoughts, or maybe just have a good impression of how the community feels, because right now, like, it's only like the minor vulgar amount of people that are really mad about the game that are going to communicate in Discord, right? So
yeah.
And then like the majority of people are probably just fine with a lot of features, but are not as communicative on the Discord. And so it's like kind of hard to filter for Blizzard all the information. I think this is going to be huge.
That's community management in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
You always know in community management that your vocal minority are very rarely representative of your total player base. The majority of players will never, ever comment on anything.
Yeah.
They'll just play the game. I know that the majority of comments that I'm going to get put forward from my community is like, can we have an extended level cap in PvP? Can you incentivize PvP a little bit better? Because most of the people in my community like PvP, but don't really feel incentivized to play it, right?
I absolutely agree with that. I think most of my community, like, they don't really think the game is extremely that pay to win. I think people are fine with the whole economy structure. It's like it's more like, can we have some deck slots? Can we have balance change? And I think like that's a healthier way of bringing conversation. Anyway, I just think this will help a lot with the creator program.
Something I'm personally excited about is the opportunities as well. Like, are we going to be invited out to America from time to time to go to events? I mean, you obviously live in North America and Canada, but for me, like, going over to the US is quite a fun thing. So, like, is there going to be live events that we get to come out to? Will we be invited to like BlizzCon next year to go and do something at Warcraft Rumble?
That would be
awesome.
We're
still making content, so that's a selfish, personal thing that I'm quite excited about.
Yeah, me too. But that's why I didn't want to mention it. But yes, that would be very fun.
Big, it's okay for us to be excited about shit that happens to us.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm sure our community are like, do you know what, guys? You create a lot of content, you put a lot of work into the game. It's okay for you to be rewarded from time to time. You know, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm sure everyone would be happy to see us at events as well and stuff. Yeah, that would. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you know what's interesting though? Because it's, if you scroll down a little bit, you look at the creator guidelines. I wanted to just raise an interesting point here. Streamers has actually got quite a high barrier for entry for streaming. So 100 CCV, especially if you're only looking at Twitch. I think for YouTube it's a little different, but especially only on Twitch, there aren't that many streamers that break the 100 CCV barrier. I think I can do it occasionally. You can do it. And then I've seen Old Guardian do it from time to time, right? But there are not that many streamers that actually break the 100 CCV barriers. I'm wondering whether they're going to be a little bit more lenient on that. And then YouTubers, it's at least 5,000 subscribers. And of course, many YouTubers who've started Rumble have only just started uploading because of Rumble, and so therefore don't have 6 months worth of uploads to work with. And I think there's only a few YouTubers that have now broken that 5K barrier that were new. I think you have just about broken that 5K barrier, right? So it's I wonder if they're going to be a bit more lenient in the creative program in terms of.
I'm sure they are. Yeah. Like I think it's like they just put a high barrier, and then they just do case by case, and they kind of have like a reason if, like, let's say someone doesn't fit exactly the personality they're looking for, and like they're quite low, they're like, okay, maybe we're just gonna wait a little bit. Maybe they just, I don't know. I think it's like it's gonna be flexible for sure. Like you said, like I've actually been doing content for I fit the criteria, so I should be fine.
You do,
because I have been doing content on another channel before that, on my Marvel Snap channel, and I do have the 5K. But some other content creators, I know that there's at least one that was is kind of scared of not getting into the creator program because he's not quite close to 5K. But I mean, come on, they're gonna be lenient. Like it's to their advantage.
They'll probably review the content and say, this guy's clearly passionate about the game. He's generating good viewership.
Yeah, I think it's about like it's like, okay, yeah, this guy does he does videos, and he takes it seriously, and he enjoys it. He enjoys the game. He enjoys everything, and he's positive, because that's another thing, right? It's what we're looking for: passionate, positive, community driven. So I'm sure if they look at someone doesn't have exactly 5K or like a 6 month of content upload, but is really passionate, they take it seriously, they are community focused, and they're positive, I'm sure they're gonna get in. So that's my message to the other content creators, guys. Don't freak out too much. In Marvel Snap, I didn't have the there is a creator program, and I got into, and I didn't have quite exactly the different barriers, but I still got in. So I would at least wait for Blizzard to release the first wave, and then we'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be lenient.
Side note: do you still play Snap?
No.
You don't play Snap at all?
Well, I mean, I don't have much time left in my day, and every single hour I have, I'd like to stream as much as possible. So make videos, stream, and my studying. I'm in my end of semester, so it's I don't have any time at all. So no, I don't play any other games other than Rumble. I played a little bit of WoW, and I almost got extremely addicted, but I stopped just before I got to that point. So I might stream like an hour or two at the end of my stream sometimes, but that's it. I only play Rumble other than that.
I'm the same as you. I'm only playing Rumble at the moment, and I'm playing WoW. I do play a little bit of League of Legends still. So
okay.
I play a little bit of League of Legends, but only like ARAMs. So I only play like ARAMs.
That doesn't count.
Mostly because the guys that I work with like still play League of Legends religiously, so I just play like ARAMs with them at lunchtime and stuff like that. But same as you, I don't have the time.
I think it's the perfect time to actually, like, I tried WoW, like I just said, a little bit, and I think it was the perfect time too, because like end of season 1, season's a little bit dull at the end, especially if you have so many hours like you and I do. So
I'm trying to get to 12K in PvP, and it is like bashing my head into a concrete wall.
Yeah, but are we resetting to like
9K? We'll reset to 9K.
So yeah, and the rewards suck, right? So what's the point? I mean,
Yeah, I know. I can get one more minor tone maybe before hitting.
oh yeah, no, exactly.
It's barely worth it. But that's that's another thing. We've talked about that. I don't want to go on a tangent. I will go on a tangent about PvP rewards, but we have already talked about it. So
yeah, for
if you're
sure.
interested in
For
our
sure.
views, the last podcast we talk about our views on PvP and PvP rewards. So there
Yeah.
you go.
No, yeah, there. Yeah, guys, go check back the last episode if you guys want to see this whole talk. But I just want to say I'm extremely positive. Someone asked me on the Discord, so I'm going on a tangent on another subject. But
That's what podcasts are for, Big Math.
exactly.
Podcasts are for going. You're actually really good at keeping us on track. Because if I think if you weren't as strict, I would just talk about random shit for like 3 hours of the podcast. Anybody that's watched me or watched me stream knows that I just talk nonstop. I can't stop talking, and so therefore, if we didn't have you, I just don't think we would get through the topics because I would just keep talking about random stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess we have a good synergy. We're at episode 4. I think like that four episode of podcast. That's probably like more than most podcasts, right?
Yeah, I think most people give up, like by podcast episode number 2. So
okay, so what's our threshold?
8 hours of constant talking. We've done like 8 hours almost of constant Warcraft Rumble talking.
Well, the thing is, like, we don't really talk in person. Well, in person, like, we don't actually sit in calls together talking.
No.
So, like, when we do, it's actually like we have so much stuff to say. Anyway, I'll finish my tangent. What I was saying is, yeah, guys, season 2 is happening right now. We don't have any extra news. I'm sure we might get some other, but for me, I'm in the mind state where like if we are gonna get the Chimera, we are gonna get Arathi Basin, right? And then if we get anything, well, I want some balance change, right? I would ask for balance change. Maybe I think that's fair to ask. And then anything else they add, it's extra for me. And so regardless, I'm gonna be happy if those 3 things are there. And I think it's healthy to be like in that mind state, because like I think for me, like the biggest issue for PvP is the map, like by far. So
I don't know. You were out, so you weren't watching my stream yesterday.
yeah,
I was getting tilted. I was, and I don't usually get tilted. You know what I'm like? I'm usually very much like, I made a mistake here. I effed up. Like like I could have won this. But I was playing against someone from Diablo Gaming, level 10 old Murkai build, and I was just like, I can't. If I don't get this opening hand of like Prowler or something that can contest the chests, you just lose. And I was playing my Rend deck, and the problem with Rend is obviously you don't have a lot of ground units to contest the chests. So if you don't get something like Prowler in your opening hand, you're behind. And I played Fatseb, and Fatseb basically played a mirror deck match with me, and he had like a really strong opening hand, and I couldn't contest the chest, and then the whole game was just trying to stop myself from dying.
Yeah,
and I never really managed to get back.
It's so hard to come back on this map with the solved meta. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, tangent again. We should probably move on to. I'm going to do your job. We should probably move on, I guess, because otherwise it's been 20 minutes of a random babble.
Sure.
And we have 2 more topics on your side.
Okay, well, I guess that's perfect, because that's another topic that I'm really looking forward to talk about, and it's what kind of cosmetic we want to Rumble. So right now we have 3 type of cosmetics, or maybe I should rephrase it to like stuff you can buy, because I'm gonna like, let's say emotes would count.
Yeah, emotes.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, what kind of cosmetic would like to see? Right now we have emotes, Kobold skin, and Tower skins.
Yeah.
And what kind of cosmetic other than these would like to see in the game? So I think the obvious one is I would really enjoy to see skins in the game. Skins for all unit. I don't care. All of them. I want to see them. Every single mini, but I don't know how they should do it. I know like in Clash Royale, they do augments where like, I think when you're maxed out, you can go an extra level and then you get some like, I don't know, a golden weapon or a golden helmet and stuff like that. I don't know if that's the way of doing it or if they just completely 100% go full skin. What would you prefer?
I think that's what they did in a few other games that I played as well. They just made a random part of the mini gold, and they're like, there we go.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think like, yeah, cosmetics is an interesting one, right, in these types of games, because ultimately they are a completely surplus to requirements. Everyone, if they had the choice, they would say, nothing else pay to win, only cosmetics. If they had the choice, they would obviously say that. But the fact of the matter is, guys, and I'll tell you this from direct experience, there was a game called Vainglory that I was my first ever YouTube game. It was the game that I built my YouTube channel on initially, called Vainglory. There was no pay to win in it. Everything could be get on for free, including skins. Now, skins were very hard to get free to play, but they were there. Any skin in the game could be gotten in Vainglory if you just played enough, right? What happened to the game?
It died?
It fucking died. It fucking died. Look, it took a long time. It took a long time, and apologies for my French, everybody. Oh wait, I shouldn't say that because actually Big Math actually speaks French, and probably there you go. But one of the things that happened was that essentially when you have a game that is only driven by cosmetic sales, you need to have a player base that is so large that it doesn't matter. So the good example of that is League of Legends, right? League of Legends can afford to be cosmetically only driven because the player base is so big. Now,
Fortnite.
The issue with, and I wrote my master's thesis on this, by the way. One of the issues with free-to-play mobile game titles is that it's so hard now to win market share from free-to-play mobile titles, because, or even just free-to-play titles in general, because people feel connected to that game in more than just you would feel connected to from buying something like Starfield and playing it, right? They've spent hours of their life in that game, probably spent thousands over the course of 10 years. And people feel like they can't give it up. People do not want to give up their free-to-play titles that they've been invested in for so many years. It is like an addiction. It is like crack cocaine. You cannot give it. And that's one of the reasons why Wild Rift did not do well. They just automatically assumed that they would go into Southeast Asia, where Mobile Legends was the biggest and most dominant title, and say, we're the original, just give up Mobile Legends and come and play with us. And no, they didn't. Of course, you got some people, but the people that had spent years and lots of money and had friend groups and friend circles that all played Mobile Legends, none of them moved because they didn't want to, because they'd spent so long playing Mobile Legends. So as a developer, now when you're releasing a title, you can't take that gamble. You can't take the gamble of, I just hope that we get enough players to then fund a game and purely buy cosmetics, right?
Yeah, I agree. But now that we do have a system where you can still pay to win, right? Let's say they don't push that further, and let's say they do improvements with time that helps you reach that higher rank or easier. Yeah. But at the same time, they introduce more cosmetic. Would that be I think that would be a good way of doing it.
I'd love it. And I think what would be really good is if they introduce cosmetics and they do well, and then they see them doing well, and they say, okay, let's start giving more coin generation things for free-to-play players. Because then they could say, okay, we can supplement our revenue through cosmetic sales because people like them, people want to purchase them. And then they'll be like, okay, well, now we don't have to rely purely on gold to generate our revenue. We can maybe offer a few other options for people to generate gold for their accounts. So yeah, I'd like that. But I mean, getting back to the main point, what kind of cosmetics would you like to see? I think obviously we've got Tower and Kobolds, like you said. Emotes are really cool. I think obviously the primary one that would be obvious and easy to do would be leader skins first and foremost, because there are fewer of them. They are more standalone. They're more sort of iconic. They're easy to do and they probably already have existing skins for various ones from World of Warcraft, depending on where you are in the story in World of Warcraft. Like Jaina, for instance, has got so many different types of skins because of how many.
Or like Cairn could have Bane Bloodhoof as a skin.
Yeah, Bane Bloodhoof is like Cairn's one. You could probably have like
Grommash Garrosh. I don't know.
Yeah, Grommash Garrosh, great examples. Man, you've been brushing up on your Warcraft lore. What's going on?
I've been working on my Warcraft lore.
You could probably have like Tyrion and what the hell's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The other paladin, Tyrion, and the other paladin.
Uther? Isn't it Uther? No, I'm wrong.
No, Uther. Yeah, no, Uther's right. So you could have Tyrion, Uther, or the other one, Tal something. I can't remember. He's sort of a minor character. You could have Sylvanas, or you could have like Sylvanas' pre-undead form, her wood elf form.
That would be sick. Yeah, that would be so cool. Guys, tell us down below which skin. Tell us down below which skin they should add in the game for leaders. Let's start off with leaders. So I guess leaders is a good first step, and then minis as well could have skin. Obviously, there's the counter argument of like you can't really understand what's happening in the game if there's too many skins. So that's why I like the idea of having leader skins at first. I guess if they want to do mini skins for every single mini, they have to be careful as to how it looks like, I guess, to not be too different.
Exactly. So that's one of the challenging things with skin creation in games is you don't want to make it so that other players can't understand or immediately recognize the type of mini that they're playing against because of the skin. The other thing that you don't want to fall into the trap of, and League of Legends catches a lot of flack for this, is you don't want to just make skins for the popular minis. And then people then start accusing you of buffing a mini to make its skin sales more popular, you know. So
I've never thought about that.
that was something that the League of Legends catches a lot of flack for. So it's it'll be interesting. But I think like my direct answer would be leader skins outside of the ones that we already get as a first point of call, and then maybe map skins for the PvP maps, like different map skins for the PvP maps. But then that might be difficult because
map skins. That's what? How would that work?
Well, Clash Royale has map skins, but it has the same map for every single PvP game you play, right? So
yeah,
I guess like I don't know whether you just buy like a seasonal map skin, so all of the because obviously we think that the PvP is going to more of a map pool rather than just playing the same map over and over again. So whether you buy like a seasonal twist on some of the maps in the pool or something like that, I don't know. But leaders is my first choice, you know, to get skins.
I guess like having some like I don't know snowy versions of certain maps and stuff like that could be cool. Like isn't there like snow in Lordaeron? Like or
winter spring. It's got a lot of snow. Obviously, Lordaeron. Maybe in the north. And I think like this is a side note, but obviously the obvious choice for further PvE progression is to release expansions like they did in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So we get Outlands followed by Northrend, which is all snowy, you know, and then they maybe go down because they have been following the path of classic WoW. And I think what's been quite interesting to see is that a lot of people have said, I really like the way that they have kind of stuck to how this stuff worked in WoW. Like in Diamol, killing the final boss in Diamol is like the boss mechanics in the actual Diamol dungeon. And in Dead Mines, Mr. Smite, you tank him against a wall. And I think, anyway, from what I remember, you tank him against a wall. And so I don't know if you know this with Mr. Smite, but if you tank Mr. Smite against a wall, your mini won't get knocked away, and you'll constantly keep the aggro because the aggro, Mr. Smite will knock your Earth Elemental into the wall and won't move away from them.
So okay, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Well, you thing is like you would know it, and don't quote me on this because maybe I'm remembering the fight wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how you fight Mr. Smite in Dead Mines in World of Warcraft. You have your tank pull him against a wall, and the tank then can't get knocked away. So it's one of those things that they've added lots of these little micro things that are like really cool, and you're like, that's how it works in World of Warcraft. That's how it, you know. And the Inquisitor Whitemane fight, you know, we have to kill Mograine and Whitemane. That's exactly the same way that you have to do it in the Scarlet Monastery. That's the same boss mechanics. So they've actually managed to bring these boss mechanics over to Rumble, which is really cool. And I think what's going to be really fun about Molten Core is like how many boss mechanics are we getting from like the original Molten Core in Rumble? That's going to be really
I guess I have to do that raid before it actually comes out in Rumble.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm really excited about
it. And I had a quick question for you just before we go to the next topic. So if we add cosmetics, and this question is to X, but also to everyone in the comments, how would you guys want to see this introduced? Like a shop, or some people are talking maybe a battle pass. I would like a battle. I love the battle pass system, especially if it's like we have 6-week season, right? That helps a lot with like always having something to do during those 6 weeks and always having a reward. Yeah.
Battle Pass Battle Pass is obviously the easy way to incentivize PvP. And you know, and maybe incentivize a bit of PvE. I don't know if it would like be attached to only PvP or PvE. I assume they'll make it joint of both because they'll want people to buy it, and they want people who enjoy PvE to buy it, and they want people who enjoy PvP to buy it. What I would love to see if they do bring a Battle Pass style system out, though, is that they actually just improve the normal track rewards for PvP anyway, because I think a lot of people would be very upset if Blizzard said, yeah, we'll make your rewards better. Here's a Battle Pass. But actually, your rewards in the normal PvP ladder still suck. And I think a lot of people would be quite upset by that move.
Yeah, but what about a free track? A free track that gives you reward? And paid track gives you maybe a tiny bit more rewards, but also mostly cosmetic.
Yes, I think that would be good. I think they probably should gate some gold on the paid side as well, because there needs to be some incentive to buy it too. Um,
Yeah.
but I agree. But I still think that even if they do bring out a battle pass, it would go much better with the community if they just improved the normal PvP rewards too, because then it doesn't feel like you're forcing people to buy or get engaged with the battle pass without improving just the regular rewards there as well. I mean, you don't have to do a lot, but just like at least just not minor tomes at 11k, dude. Like minor tomes at 11k is just like, what am I doing with this? This is worthless.
Yeah, no, I like your idea of having a separate track, reward track in PvP. So we'd have like 18 games to win every day. That would be very fun. So 9 games would be PvE exclusive, and then you would have 9-game PvP exclusive, something like that. I think that would be great to help with
every day. 18 games would be a bit hard, I think, but like
okay, well, 6,
maybe 10. Maybe I would say 10, like 5 each, like 5
5
PvE,
each, sure.
5 PvP. Yeah, because like most people are probably not going to commit that much more time to the game than that on a daily basis.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. I guess we'll get into our last topic here, which I'm ready to hear from everyone in the comments down below. And I guess we should probably switch our screen here to put back Rumble. But yeah, we are going to talk about how would we do guild versus guild, because everyone's been talking about guild versus guild. We have raids that will incentivize guilds, but what's the point of having a guild if you can't fight against other guilds, right? So I don't know how they're supposed to do guild versus guild. I think the biggest problem with guild versus guild is that you can't really do it live, in the sense that you can't like do like a tournament format where people have to be there at a certain time and then fight against each other. So it has to be some sort of system like we've seen in other games, where you do some games, get some points, and then you try to have more points than the other guild, stuff like that. I don't know. I think I've played Clash Royale, and when they released the I think it was Clan Wars Clan Wars, I think that wasn't very well done. And I wish that Rumble does better, but I don't know how they would do it. So in Clash Royale, just so if you guys don't know, I think it was you had some mini games you would play, or some games with modifiers, and if you would win those games, you would get points for your guild. But then it was extremely unbalanced, because I don't know, like you had like 3 times as much gold, or you had some stuff like that really didn't make it competitive. And I think guild versus guild should be competitive, but it's a hard thing to do. Yeah, how would you do it?
There are 2 ways that I think I've seen it done in other games. Like Clash Royale, for sure. When I played Clan Wars, it was just, you basically played 3 PvP matches.
Yeah.
But they were like, I can't remember like what it was, but like they played a PvP match, and then you played their ghost. And you basically played their replay. I can't remember what it was, but you played their replay or something. So like they played a PvP match, and then you played their replay for whatever reason. I can't remember exactly, but it was like they kind of made it more fair than what you were saying. Like it was a bit more balanced. There was like some way of doing like a straight PvP thing. But you're right. Like it's I can't remember exactly how Clash Royale worked though, because I feel like when I played it, it was a bit more like not so crazy. Like it was a bit more just like normal PvP. You just had to win a set number of normal PvP matches in some way, shape, or form. But I can't remember now because it's been so long since I played Clash Royale. But the way that it worked in Wild Rift, when they eventually brought, I'm gonna sneeze 1 second. Sorry. the way it worked in
Wild Rift.
In Wild Rift was that you basically, there was a start and an end date, and they basically took the top X players in like the wins that you got and the points that you accumulated, and you just had to win more games in that time. So I don't know whether it would just be the case that there's like a start point and an end point, and you just have to play like as many PvP matches up to a set amount. Like obviously we don't want to punish people for having all the time in the world to play PvP matches, but Like you have a set number of PvP matches that you play, and the ones that you win, that just generates points for the alliance. And the higher elo you were, or the higher honor you were, generated more points, and the lower elo you were, and the lower honor you were, generates less points. But yeah, it's difficult because obviously the idea would be live matching, but just it's not going to happen. So
yeah, I think like, and I've just thought about that while you were talking, but like, imagine like a system where you have like a map or a continent like we have right here on screen, and then you get assigned one faction, let's say Horde versus Alliance, just for sake of simplicity. And then you would maybe do some PvE games, and you would need to win with your guild a bunch of PvE games to control part of that map. And then the opponent could attack some of your regions by doing PvE themselves. And like if they would take it, they would take back control of the map.
That'd be cool.
That could be very cool. And then at the end, obviously the team that has the most territories or something like that would win. And then you could have like some modifiers if you control certain section of the maps. And I don't know, it could be crazy. There's a lot.
Some people out there that have got way more experience in guild versus guild options because I remember guild versus guild coming out in Wild Rift, but I did not engage with it in the slightest because it wasn't very interesting. So there's probably some people in the comments that will come up with some really good ideas for this.
Make sure to tell us, guys. Make sure to tell us.
Specifically stuff that is like technically you're able to execute on, like just stuff that you know that you could execute on. That's what's going to be most interesting to me.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna end it here. It's a shorter. We're gonna do a shorter episode on my side. Yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna be back next week with season 2, right? So we're gonna have season 2. So we might have to delay the Rumblecast next week. Maybe delayed by 1 day or 2 because of the new season. But
we need to get some vibe checks from the season before we start talking about it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, go watch the second part that's gonna be on Excoundrel's channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and bye, guys. Hey guys, so I'm doing a giveaway for the release of the Chimera that is coming with season 2. So we are gonna give away 3 Chimera bundle. This is the bundle that releases at the start of the season 2. So I'm going to be gifting away 3 of these Chimera bundles. And all you guys have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is to, on YouTube, make sure to be subscribed to the channel, like and comment on any of the videos until December 10th, which is the release of season 2. And also go on Twitter and make sure to follow me on Twitter and like and repost the giveaway posts. So yeah, guys, very, very simple. Once again, on YouTube, subscribe, comment, and like. And on Twitter or on X, make sure to go follow me there, like the post, and repost it, and you guys will be eligible for it. Guys, I'm unbelievably excited for season 2. This is going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see all the decks we are going to create with the Chimera and with the new Arthi Basin map. So yeah, guys, and until then, we're going to have a lot of news until the release of season 2. So very exciting time to be a fan of Warcraft Rumble. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.